Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into Poor Charlie's Almanack.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it's a fascinating book. We're going to be unlocking the wisdom of Charles T. Munger.
The man, the myth, the legend.
That's right. He's Warren Buffett's brilliant partner. And,
It's more than just finance, right?
exactly. This isn't just about investing. It's about how this guy thinks.
How he learns.
How he just lives a successful,
An ethical life.
yeah, with real integrity. So first,
Like, who asked this Charlie Munger?
right. I mean, you might think, oh, Wall Street prodigy.
Born with a silver spoon, right?
But his story is so much more interesting than that.
Way more. He's not your typical finance guru.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So, picture this. Teenage Munger.
Fascinated by what? Surgery.
Yeah. And statistics.
Okay, interesting combo.
Right. Then later, we're talking degrees in math, physics.
Meteorology. And hold on, law, too.
Law, too. I mean, talk about range.
It's unbelievable. This is like a real-life Renaissance man.
He is. Wait, there's more.
No way.
He designed yachts.
Get out.
And even buildings for his, philanthropic projects.
This guy's a polymath. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what makes him so unique.
Totally. And that diverse background. That's key to his success.
It's like he's living proof that the most successful people,
They're not just specialists.
they're not. They're synthesizers.
Yeah, they can connect all those
Stories
dots,
between different fields.
see the world through different lenses.
Exactly, like having a whole toolbox.
Instead of just one tool.
Right. Not just a hammer.
Well, I famous for saying,
If all you have is a hammer,
every problem looks like a nail.
oh, bingo! And so many of us fall into that trap.
We get comfortable with one way of thinking.
And every problem is, the same.
We use the same solution.
Over and over again. Munger shows us the power of,
Multidisciplinary approach.
yeah. You see solutions others miss.
But how does this play out in real life?
You need an example.
Yeah, like a concrete example.
Okay, think about the hard sciences. Math, physics, engineering.
I'm not a scientist.
Doesn't matter. Understanding basic principles,
Like what?
like quality control, can
Okay.
be valuable in any field. Look
Yeah.
at Japan, their
Yes.
manufacturing industry. They embraced statistical quality control. 20th century, boom.
So a little math goes a long way.
Even if you're not building rockets.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
What about other fields? How do you connect something like biology to investing?
Oh, this is classic Munger. He compares the stock market to an ecosystem.
Interesting.
Like, in nature, companies compete for resources.
They're fighting to survive.
Exactly. Some thrive, like predators at the top of the food chain. Think Amazon.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Started as an online bookstore, right?
Right.
Now it's this massive ecosystem, like a rainforest.
Never thought of it that way.
That's Munger for you. He connects the dots in ways you'd never expect.
So he's not just a numbers guy.
Yeah, way.
He's a thinker.
Deep thinker. But there's more to him than business, right?
Oh, absolutely.
There's a warmth to him
genuine warmth.
that you don't often see, especially at his level.
I mean, the guy lives a surprisingly simple life,
It's real.
despite his, considerable wealth. Over 50 years, same house, grounded. No sprawling mansions.
Private jets.
He's got this, old-fashioned, gentlemanly quality.
You nailed it.
Right.
Munger prioritizes human connection.
Over material possessions.
For sure. Deeply values family and friends.
I read stories about him,
Oh, tell me.
like story time with his grandkids, filling his friends' gas tanks before he returns their car.
See? That's the kind of guy he is. He believes success isn't just about money.
It's about using your wealth to, nurture relationships.
Make a difference.
And, of course, his philanthropy.
Oh, yeah. He's not just writing checks.
He's actively involved in the causes he supports.
Boards, charities, the whole 9 yards
It's like integrity is a cornerstone,
of his life.
not just his business ventures. So now I'm even more curious about his investment philosophy.
What everyone wants to know, right?
Right. But what's remarkable is it's surprisingly accessible.
You don't need a PhD in finance
It boils down to a few core principles.
that anyone can grasp.
All right, I'm all ears.
Let's dive in. So, one of the most fundamental principles is this idea of a circle of competence.
Competent.
Yeah. Munger really emphasizes sticking to what,
Makes sense.
right, and avoiding investments in areas where you're like, I don't really get this.
Oh, I've totally been there.
yeah.
Like the next big thing comes along.
FOMO.
Total FOMO, even if I don't fully understand it.
It's a trap.
It is.
So many people get caught up in the hype.
Forget to ask.
Yeah, do I actually understand this business?
Right.
Munger and Buffett.
They have incredible discipline.
It's amazing. For years, they avoided tech stocks
Really?
because it wasn't their area of expertise.
Ah, interesting.
And this actually helped them during the dot-com bubble.
Oh, when everyone else was losing their shirts.
Big time.
So they were willing to miss out on potential gains.
To stay within their comfort zone.
That takes guts.
But it paid off. They have a long-term vision.
Not chasing those quick riches.
Nope. Building lasting wealth.
That's the goal.
Understanding a business thoroughly.
Before you invest a single dollar.
Exactly.
So does that mean we should never venture outside our circle of competence?
Well, that's where the second principle comes in.
Okay.
Lifelong learning.
Ah, yes.
Munger is a voracious reader, constantly expanding his knowledge.
Always learning.
Because success requires, adaptability.
Willingness to evolve.
Think of it this way. Your circle of competence,
It's not fixed.
it's not. It's constantly expanding as you learn.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's not about staying static.
No.
It's about pushing those boundaries.
Yes. Didn't they eventually invest in, Apple and Amazon?
They did,
Tech
but
giants.
only after they took the time to understand.
Those businesses, their industries,
Yep.
they did their due diligence. Let's say you're a software engineer,
Okay.
thinking of investing in a biotech company.
Yeah.
Munger would ask, do you really understand the science?
The regulation,
The competitive landscape.
if the answer's no,
Don't invest.
don't chase the hype.
Exactly.
What's the third principle?
Patience. Munger and Buffett, they're known for their long-term outlook.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race.
They believe wealth comes from identifying exceptional companies
And holding on to them.
for the long haul. They're not swayed by those short-term market fluctuations.
They see the big picture.
They do. It's refreshing, isn't it?
It is. It's like the opposite of that get-rich-quick mentality.
It is.
Yeah.
And it reflects their discipline, their belief in the intrinsic value of
Great businesses.
Absolutely.
So insightful. But there's something else remarkable about Charlie Munger.
What's that?
His dedication to reading.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're talking 20 books a week.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And not just quantity, it's the depth, the breadth.
He uses it to
Expand his mental models.
see the world from all these different perspectives.
He's constantly learning, evolving. And remember that story about him nearly losing his sight?
Yeah, and being determined to learn Braille so he could keep reading.
Exactly. It shows his tenacity, his commitment to learning. It's a lifelong pursuit.
Makes you wonder what he'd accomplish with even more time to read. We've covered a lot.
We have.
Multidisciplinary thinking, ethical investing.
It's really inspiring, isn't it?
It is.
And it's so accessible.
Right. It's not about, secret formulas.
It's about principles anyone can apply.
Poor Charlie's Almanack is more than just a book.
It's a guide to a fulfilling life.
So how can our listeners actually use this? Apply it to their own lives?
It's like he's giving us a blueprint.
Not just for a bigger bank account,
Right.
for a better life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He encourages us to find our own circles of competence. What are you truly passionate about?
What do you excel at?
And where can you expand?
Push those boundaries.
Right.
It's a call to action.
It is. Acknowledge your strengths.
But be open to new areas.
Always be learning.
Continuous growth, self-discovery.
Like Munger, 20 books a week. It shows how important it is to feed that curiosity.
The world is full of insights.
Just waiting to be uncovered.
It's like he's saying the most valuable asset is a curious mind.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it's not about becoming an expert overnight.
It's those small steps.
Embrace new ideas.
Expand that knowledge base.
A look at a time, like Munger.
This has been fascinating.
It has.
Exploring the mind of this remarkable individual.
He really embodies the power of multidisciplinary thinking,
Ethical decision-making.
that thirst for knowledge.
And what's so inspiring is that this wisdom, it's within everyone's reach.
It's not about privilege or luck. It's about mindset.
Embracing the principles he lays out.
Anyone can do it.
I'm feeling really motivated to
Right.
build my own mental toolbox, just like Charlie Munger.
It's a lifelong process, right?
Absolutely. The journey never truly ends.
Never.
Well, a huge thank you to our expert for this deep dive into the world of Charlie Munger.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners out there, keep those minds curious.
Keep exploring.
Until next time, happy learning.